all around the world. Listen, we go build an Igbo state here in South Africa, and South Africans are going to do nothing. We go build it there in the Western Cape, and you'll do nothing to us because we are the Nigerians and we are powerful here in South Africa. We go build our own estate.
Salam alaikum.
Like you think he's Igbo king in Ghana? He is not Igbo king. I don't want to correct that impression.
Yeah.
He's not an Igbo king.
What is him? Okay.
I mean, he was lying.
Auntie, can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in the first place, he said the guy is not an Igbo king. He's acting. He's an acting Igbo king. I'm a bit confused. I don't know if you guys understand what he meant by acting Igbo king.
Hi, my kings and queens. Welcome back once again to another interesting, intriguing, and most importantly, expository episode for what we have going on here on the stable of life of an African woman. Guys, I cannot thank each and every one of you enough for your constant love and support here. I do not and cannot take them for granted. For watching my videos alone, liking and sharing is more than enough. I say thank you, thank you. And guys, we are back at it again with another interesting one. And if you are yet to like this video, I beg of you, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. If this is your first time here, please don't make it your last, because on here we say things just the way it is, not to demote, demarcate anyone, any citizen, right? But to analyze it the way it is, expose, educate, entertain, inspire, motivate, captivate, and not just you, but your spirit and your soul and your body, right? Now, straight up for what we have for today, guys, this is not going to be my first time reacting on a topic like this, because I have times without number always reacted on this particular topic, what it is for a particular tribe from Nigeria, all over the world, all over the country. Yes. And guys, I want to start by saying that it's not to bash or bring down any tribe of my country or me being tribalistic. After all, I have a connection and a relationship with the Igbo tribe of my country, Nigeria, which is the southeast region of Nigeria. Particularly, I'm a South, and I have connections, like I said, with a lot of Southeast. I personally do have respect for them. But there are certain things that this particular tribe, I must be specific, usually do cut across all over the world, like all over the world in the continent of Africa, that has been an issue. Like, if you look at it very well, at the end of the day, most of these crimes that are being perpetrated, yes, in foreign countries, in other people's country, are mostly championed by this particular tribe. Let's not even go there. Let's not even lie. Even if we will say we have people from the south, we have people from the west, the Yorubas, we have people from the Hausas, which I think most times are not really into going to other people's country most times to exhibit the kind of crimes that most Igbos as a people and as a tribe do. Now, in today's episode is going to be a particular trend that has been ongoing with this tribe, that most of them, let me not generalize, I have so much respect for these people, for the ones who are reasonable, right? Because I have connections with them, okay? For the trend that has been ongoing in Ghana, now in South Africa, which I came across a video, yes, of this particular act or trend. Let me call it a trend, because this is nothing but a big joke, right? A joke that, if time is not taken, will be turned into something else, or will become something else at the end of the day, right? But we are not joking here. Now, it's a thing that when these people migrate to anywhere, they want to dominate, and not just dominate, they take advantage of indigenous citizens of the country in different ways and form. My brother Chimdi has attested to this as an Igbo man, yes, against his own people. He does not mix words. So, looking at the way these people go to other people's country, starting from Ghana, how they go there, naturalize on their own, owning lands, not just owning lands, dominating a greater part of the people's country, whether legally or illegally, committing crimes such as kidnapping, ritualism, drug pushing, and the rest of them is becoming alarming. So guys, I will start by explaining this trend in bits so that we understand how it is going for South Africa and for Nigeria. Like I said, this is not to bash anyone, right? But let us look at this from a clear picture without sentiment, emotions, and bias.
All around the world, listen, we go build an Igbo state here in South Africa, and South Africans are going to do nothing. We go build it there in the Western Cape, and you'll do nothing to us because we are the Nigerians and we are powerful here in South Africa. We go build our own estate. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, there's a video that's making rounds. on social media. Don't trust social media. It might be something old, something new, but it's a point of discussion that I would love to just dive into it. There is a group of Nigerians in the Western Cape that are saying, listen, they're gonna build an Imo state here in South Africa, in the Western Cape. And I was looking at the comment section. I was like, hey, South Africans, hey, South Africans. I told you guys, on a very serious note, you allow Orania to exist. There's going to be an Igbo and an Imo state here in South Africa. The Pakistanis are going to group themselves together and they're going to build their own state here in South Africa. They're going to buy land legally. They're going to come to South Africa legally and then buy a farm and say, only Pakistani people, Somalians and Indian people are staying here. I'm telling you now, if you're not careful with sorting out that problem in Orania, you're going to have a problem with the Ethiopians are going to come here and say, we're going to build an Ethiopian city here. The Chinese have already done it, by the way. The Chinese have already done it. They're in Bronx Strait. Hey, I want us to talk about that in this video and much more. I've been heard in a video saying that they're going to build an Imo state. It sounds like they say they have land already. They are saying this land is in the Western Cape. And I want to know building an Imo state in South Africa.
The vote of governor of Imo State Union, Western Cape, South Africa, elect today. From today, he's officially governor of Imo State. From today. From today. Governor elect. What is the result? From the power of INEC. I will go get a governor of Imo State. Because Imo State is 76. If you remember, young one I did say I can do 100. But what I said, they can and our governor project Paul to 76 votes.
There you hear it, ladies and gentlemen. So the Imo state, the Igbo with serious things like this. This is a very serious thing. So the Imo state, the Igbo people are there in the Western Cape saying they've got, I think, rights from Ireland or somewhere to form this government of theirs. And the funny thing is that the governor was voted in by 76 votes. 76 votes voted the governor in of Nigeria. You know, so we love our Nigerian brothers, and we understand their cry, but also we must say, don't turn South Africa into a playing ground. We are not here to be playing around with serious things like this. This is a very serious thing, a very, very serious thing. South Africans, we will not take kindly to such activities, because South Africans will not do this in other countries. They won't. So respectful. How can you go to Zimbabwe and want to start your own South African land there? What nonsense is that? How can anyone allow that? How can anyone allow that? But maybe in the future, this is what is going to happen when you integrate African countries. Maybe this is the route that we are going. If one or two more pops out of the Afrikaans gate, you know, meaning if it's not African, if it's like Pakistani, Somalians, or Nigerians for that matter, if anyone does it successfully after Orania, there won't be any stopping. No one is going to stop anyone else. You understand? The next thing to get into Soweto, you will need a passport. You know, Soweto people will say, no, Soweto, we as Soweto, we are bigger than Botswana in population. We can turn Soweto into a country. Who's going to stop them? Who's going to stop them? You know, and then the Tsonga people say nobody must get in Guyana if they are not Tsonga. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. So you allow Orania, other things like this are going to have the balls to challenge the South African constitution, and they're going to do it as well. And after After some time, after 30 years, 40 years from now, you're not going to.
How is it that these people everywhere they go, they want to dominate, not just dominating to the inconvenience, like the inconvenience of the real owners of the country, like make it make sense that at the end of the day, these people own a country where they come from, Nigeria, but will neither stay back to build a country over years that has deteriorated to what it is today, that is being seen all over the world as a shithole and a country that is collapsing down the drain, but will rather want to, come together, own a land, own a space in another man's country to their own inconvenience, like rubbing it on them, forcing themselves on these people. And at this point, it has gotten to the limit that these people are now screaming all over, as South Africans, as Ghanaians, in fact, all over the world. So now you see what this South African is saying. This is no longer a joke, like exactly what South Africans have been complaining, right, about most Nigerians, let me not generalize, come there to their country to do, as though it is not enough selling powder, it coming illegally, doing things that are illegal and criminally minded, kidnapping, banditting, robbery, unaliving, and they come in disguise, creep into their women, act as if they want to get entangled, married to their women just to achieve a common goal, and before you know it, they are there in their number. Like, make it make sense. Now, the next phase is how it is in Ghana. A Nigerian that was being questioned by his own fellow Nigerian, asking him, why is it that as an Igbo man, there is another man parading himself as a king? What is it all about? And this is what this conversation is all about.
My father, National Chief Imam of Ghana. I brought the special greetings to my father, National Chief Imam of Ghana, and all my Islamic friends all over the world, and the Sunupe Nigeria, National Chief Imam of Nigeria also, and all over the world. It's my prayers that this year will bring unity, love, peace, understanding, wealth, wisdom, and knowledge. And I pray that all things will go well to the glory of God Almighty. Happy Salam Alaikum.
Like you think he's Igbo king in Ghana. He is not Igbo king. I just want to correct that impression.
Yeah.
He's not an Igbo king.
What is him?
Okay. First, we have, just like in Kumasi, or just as in Ghana, we have Otunfo as Ashanti king, right?
Which is the king?
Which is the king.
Yes.
In Igbo, we have our Igbo king, my people. And our Igbo king is in his throne. He's not in Igbo land.
Igbo land. Okay.
Yes. So I'm coming to Emeka. His name is Emeka. The Igbo king in Ghana, Accra. His name is Chukwu Emeka.
Yes.
Chukwu Emeka is not Igbo king.
If he was,
what he is like, maybe you now, let me say you're a Ghanaian man now. Then you travel to Ivory Coast. Then this is what started. You travel to Ivory Coast for the first time. Then you happen to meet your Ghana people in Ivory Coast.
yes.
Then you be like, okay, let me be like act as a king
Towards them.
like
how?
like okay, like a leader. Let me just say, let me at least act as a king, not a king, but acting as a king. You get, so that whenever these people in Ivory Coast, whenever they get problem, whenever they get issue, they can easily bring it to me. You get, to settle. Maybe I have upper hand with government of that country. Then if these people bring case to me, I can be able to settle their case, their dispute, whatever. And another one too. Since they are in another country and they are not in Igbo land, and they are also giving birth in that country they are into, and their children don't usually go home all the time to learn Igbo cultures, Igbo things, the way we do in Igbo, all the cultures, traditions in Igbo, you understand? So, but through that acting king, he's not a king, but he's acting. Through him,
He's acting as what?
as the king.
The king.
Yeah, he's not a king, but he's acting.
Acting.
Act. There's something like
Acting king.
there's
Who
something
is
like
acting under? He's
like,
acting under who?
like he's like, he just brought himself, like he wanted to act as king towards the Igbos who lives in
that community.
Even, do you know that Kumasi people doesn't consider him as their acting king?
Okay, now only in Accra.
He's only in Accra that he is operating. People in Takwara, the Igbo people in Takwara, doesn't support him. They told him that you can't just be our acting king just like that. You get, because you have money, have upper hand with the government of Ghana. That means you can just come and say you want to act as a king towards us. No.
That means the Igbo people in Kumasi
don't support him
support him.
for as king.
The Igbo king in Takoradi,
They don't support him. It's only people in Accra.
that support.
Yeah, because that is where he lives. He lives in Accra. So the only people he will govern, he will control, are the people in that Accra. So people in Kumasi told him that if you want to be as a acting king, not a king, no, because we have normal king, our king in Igbo land, and he's on his throne.
Which is in Igbo land.
In Igbo land,
Not in Ghana.
Not in Ghana. If you want to see our king in Igbo, go to Igbo land. You see him where he is.
Yes,
So,
and that one be original.
that one is the original king. This one is just an acting king. Like you want to act like a king.
Now, at the end of the day, this is exactly what this Igbo man was stumbling and rambling to defend a cause that actually was obviously true, but he was trying to, put it in a different light, not to even make the people who already know that these are the trend and the mission that is going on by this so-called Igbo king in Ghana. And mind you, this man has plots like acres of land that he wants to build and form a community, not in Nigeria, but in Ghana. And yes, this is what Ghanaians have to say.
Okay.
I mean, he was lying.
Angie, can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in the first place, he said the guy is not an Igbo king. He's acting. He's an acting Igbo king. I'm a bit confused. I don't know if you guys understand what he meant by acting Igbo king. And to him, the other chiefs in other regions do not regard him as a king. And then even the Igbo king on Igbo land does not or doesn't have anything to do with him. So I don't know, like, what do you guys think before I come up with mine?
That guy, Sunny Media, he's funny. You see, he was struggling to explain things. If the guy is not Igbo king, and you guys have come to somebody's country, and the Ghanaians have come out and talked about it constantly, that means Ghanaians, we don't appreciate that. And you guys know that what the guy or the man or whatever he called himself is doing in Ghana, Ghanaians don't appreciate that. Why is it that all the Igbo people in Ghana, they can't come out and, tell the man that he should stop what he's doing because he is committing problems in somebody's country? I think you know what I mean, right?
Someone without any royal lineage to just surface on someone's land and call himself king and command the acronyms of his royal majesty. His royal majesty. I think these guys are just a bunch of jokes. It's rather shameful on the part of Ghanaians, and especially those who are in leadership positions who cannot draw the line between a lunatic like this guy and someone who mean business, or someone who is right, an upright person. So it's either he has some influence on them to push them to accept his position as a king, or he's dealing with people who unfortunately have no brains, and sadly that's our people. This is not meant to be an insult, especially to those who are giving him all the the due respect of a king, but it's just to show that there's no what can he show me the sovereign state that he rules over? There isn't any. He hasn't got any royal bloodline, so he's just parading himself, forcing himself on to people to call him what he wants to be called, and it's his own right. If he wants to be called whatever, well, we can call him that. But do we have to give him that honor as a king? I think the answer is no. And also these guys who are saying, no, he's not, but he's just they use the word just is it he used the word
No, he used the word
Acting king.
acting, yeah, the word acting is what. If someone is acting, he's given authority to act, right? And
Yes.
where is that authority
In
coming from?
the absence of someone.
That means he's portrayed, yeah.
So if we take it from that angle, is he acting on behalf of the king of Igbos in Igbo land in Nigeria, or he's acting because the people, the Igbos in Ghana, have decided to give him that role as a king, even if it's a leader. I don't know how a king can come in here, but if it's a leader, then are the people in support? And he said no, it's only the people in Accra. Which to me, it's a lie, because we've seen him, go to places and install kings and all. Now, this guy also go around saying things like people in my cabinet and also claiming diplomatic titles as well. Now, this is where it gets very, very serious, and especially for Ghanaians and the leaders in Ghana. If somebody can set up another institution apart from the High Commission of Nigeria, set up another institution where he can intercept diplomatic information and people, then that becomes a threat. It moves from being a joke to a threat, and this is where I feel he's crossed the line, and authorities should really start stepping in, because if nothing is done, it will become a bigger problem in the future to deal with. And at that time, it wouldn't be us, it will be probably our grandchildren or their children who will be dealing with that. And just like it happened with Ojukwu some years back, it might happen in Ghana. So that's my take on this.
Say Idu festival now, they all come.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The role as a king, as a snow king, other moving a year another.
I'm watching Nigerian movie.
Yeah, it's like he's acting movie or what for Ghanaians to watch.
No, they think they are following Ghanaians. That's it. Yeah, they think they are smarter than us.
Okay. So Igbos have a saying. I don't know. I can't speak Igbo, but I'm going to try my best to say it how they say it. They say Igbo nweze. It means Igbos do not have a king, and that's something they all brag about. Hey, we don't have a king. We, like most Igbos in Nigeria. As for us, we are not one of those.
Yeah, I think I've heard something like that before.
They brag about it because, as you know, they are one of the most arrogant people ever. They go to people's countries, raise their shoulders. Oh, like they go to South Africa, I have a master's degree, I have a PhD, and so they'll be looking down on the local South African men, just like they do in Ghana. So my question to Nigerians is, why is that 300 million people burdening every country in the world? They're doing it in South Africa. They're doing right now as I speak to you. If you go to places like Italy, Spain, Portugal, Turkey, a friend is saying Dubai, people don't want to rent places to them anymore. How come in Ghana, I can say in Ghana, we have out of the 54 African nations, there are other African people who live in Ghana. People from Liberia. Come on, Liberians had a civil war. They came to live in Ghana for many years. They didn't trouble us. There's so many people from Ivory Coast. You don't ever hear an Ivorian doing any crime in Ghana. And then whenever you mention it, they feel offended. Oh, you're picking on that. No, we are not going to put up with that bullshit anymore. This is excuses. Maybe I'm putting my excuses. Oh, Ghanaians are picking on us. Ghanaians are doing this. No. Because 1 inch, they'll take a mile. Ghana. You're not granted you're married to a Ghanaian, but you still have to respect her. Even the simple fact that you even decided to call yourself a king in another man's land, that alone is a disrespect in itself. What you say? Ghana, why not Timmy friend who or call Nigeria friend who I'm a king, my Timmy village or be at me? That is so disrespectful. Intimidate me authorities,
Yeah, of course. So according to him, whenever he's talking about his kingship, he says that he is a diaspora king. I don't know if you get.
We don't care. We don't care whether diaspora king or whether we okay, who the king? The king of fear. Don't be coming to sit on social media broadcasting. I'm a king and carry your shoulder. You are not a king in Ghana. You are a foreigner. You will always be a foreigner. Even if you live in Ghana 1,000 years and you get a Ghanaian passport, we will not accept you as a Ghanaian. First and foremost, I didn't Nigeria for no all these years. What is how we had freedom fighters back in the day? We had Nkrumah, we had Lumumba from DRC, we had Nelson Mandela. So many freedom fighters always fighting for the freedom of their future generation, right? And they shed blood and people died. And now, as we speak in 2025, Ghana for this type of peace and freedom that we all brag about, that people from all across the world respect us, right? I didn't Nigeria for once in their freaking lives. Why don't they unite? And their bad governance now Nigeria now for almost 67 years in Timuni Kania. No, your friend is saying 419, scamming, kidnapping. A couple of months ago, now was saying all that nonsense. Why can't you guys rally together? Like you see how the Kenyans, what the Kenyans youth did last year, 2024, made me realize Nigerians are the weakest and the most coward country in the whole wide world. Because if the Nigerian youth, Kenyan youth relentlessly did that on the streets, we also saw it on social media for days and weeks on end because they are having bad governance and they are ruto and mompe. I did a Nigerian for Munti Minesa. Look at your NSAS in 2020. You did it for like a week. All they did was all they had was their iPhones standing on social media and taking a picture with Davido and taking a picture with all. You know what I'm saying? Freedom is not handled on a silver platter. You fight for it. People are going to die. Regardless, do it. Some of us get together. So split the fuck up into 3 countries. Do Igbo land, do Yoruba land, do up north, whether it's middle belt. And split because 300 people the country is sinking and they want to burden the rest of Africa and we will not accept it. Nigeria is the only reason why I don't want United Africa as much as Nkrumah wanted. Because yes, our United Africa now, will be the biggest burden on everybody. You claim you are the smartest. Yeah, you are smart. If you go to New York, you go to California, they have all the doctors. No, all these smartest in your brain. Why can't you fix your fucking country and try to more burden? Ghanaians, we will not accept that Igbo king or whatever. So we will not allow our forefathers to.
It's better we go the diplomatic way than
Yes, because our leaders are just being lenient, and I feel that monies are exchanging hands. You understand what I'm saying? Money. Also a week. Let me take an example of what this near. I'm not going to pick on me because he celebrated his birthday, whatever. But the fact that you invited all these celebrities from Nigeria, people you've never met, and I can tell you a fact, he never met them. He just brought them in for bragging rights by going to Bolare to invite all these people, paying them $8,000 each. Why would you do that? Into almost say, Ghana, what you say, we are celebrities into your bow events. And then nobody who said Ghana for we are timid, we are weak, and they take our leniency to be our weakness. And we are not weak.
Someone
1 second. I will tell you to your face.
Now you see how Ghanaians, the people's voice, are screaming loud, are in pain, in anger, showing that they are tired. Like at this point, if you listen carefully to what they are saying, where is the lie? A country that claims they are the best, like you rightly heard, the most arrogant people on the surface of Africa are Nigerians. Not just Nigerians. Majority of the tribes like we are addressing today fall under this category. Literally every average Nigerian you see is arrogant to the core. They claim they are intelligent, they are smart, they are this, they are that, rubbing it on the faces of the host countries that they find themselves in. Yet they cannot carry this smartness, they cannot carry this intelligence if they think they are intelligent. Because as for me, I think they are the dumbest. If this is not foolishness, stupidity and madness, I don't know what to call it. You can't take this to your country and fix your country. Like you can't go back home and build your country. You can't go back home and learn your culture, practice your culture. Do you know what it means to be a king, to own a kingdom in another man's country? Like in the real sense, let's even address this most important question: can a South African, can a Ghanaian, can a Zimbabwean, can any country, like any country in Africa, come successfully to Nigeria, right? Practice this whole thing that Nigerians are practicing in other people's countries successfully without being stopped, without being questioned. I bet you within the twinkle of an eye, the Nigerians that I know will come out in their mass, in their numbers, to destroy and disrupt this whole thing immediately, ASAP. The Nigerians that I know, because at the end of the day, what Nigerians are dishing out to other people in their own country cannot be taken by them. They can't take it one bit. I bet you, I am saying it. This is not even to mix my words, because at the end of the day, it is becoming irritating and embarrassing that every single minute, every single day, you are seeing this set of Nigerians cut across different countries, like you rightly heard, perpetrating and committing all these acts, doing all these things that are making the host countries uncomfortable. You've rightly heard that they have even stopped giving them rentage in so many countries today, because anywhere they go, you hear it's a Nigerian, you hear it's a Nigerian. If not been tried and proven innocent, everyone is scared of the name Nigeria. Everyone is scared of identifying with most Nigerians because of actions and inactions like this. Today, it is raining thunder, lightning, and brimstone in Ghana by a Nigerian who went there and disrupted the peace of the country, Ghana. We are not done talking about that one. No, we're not talking about that one. These people literally go into other people's country to take over. And like we rightly heard, if they are not being cautioned or something is not being stopped, what happened in the time past is definitely going to happen. Yes, and I don't know what the government of this country, South Africa and Ghana, is doing, because it is not in the hands of the citizens to take laws into their hands. They are only crying out, or they will only cry out, but the government should sit up and take the laws by their hand. That is to say, like the Ghanaian lady said, if money is not being exchanged, because this is not me saying it, the corruption in Africa is something else. Like, I don't know the set of leaders that naturally we breed in Africa that will see things like this that are dangerous and detrimental to the citizens, to the country, as a people, as a landmass, will still fold their arms and watch things like this happening. Now, nobody is saying people cannot travel into your country, but the way and manner you stay there, act and behave is what people are literally complaining and crying about. Stop making people uncomfortable in their country. Stop doing too much. I keep saying these things. It is rubbing on us as other citizens of Nigeria, as though we are in that category. I cannot imagine myself as a Nigerian go to anywhere, any part of any country to form a clique, talk more of. As a foreigner that I am, I need to learn to respect the law, the boundaries of any country, any place I go. Even in Nigeria, there is no particular state I will travel to that I will not respect that state, their tradition, their culture. Talk more of leaving my country as a foreigner to another person's country, and you expect that I should be there doing things that will keep these people uncomfortable, committing crimes and things that at the end of the day will land me into trouble. I can't imagine myself in that position, and that's why I'm using this medium, this opportunity to raise my voice. And this is no discrimination, this is no disunity or whatsoever. It is only me calling a spade and calling things out to say, personally, I don't stand and support this. If you are a foreigner in a person's country, whether you are naturalized by citizenship or whatever, learn to know that there are people who own that land, and learn to respect their laws, their tradition, their culture, and their boundaries, for crying out loud. That is only what I am stressing out here. For me, I don't welcome this idea of the Igbos going to own a land, own a king, own a this, own a that, all in another man's country. Why not bring back this home? You heard when the young man was saying that these people are not being recognized by some other Igbos. The division in Igbo as a tribe, as a people alone, is something questionable. Even among themselves, they are not united. I'm telling you, they only unite when they want to come together to commit crime, when it favors them. Most times you hear my brother Chimdi mention these things, right? But when it is not favorable to them, money is not involved, crime is not there, crime is not uniting them, best believe that everybody to your test, oh Israel, you will not see them unite. But when they are uniting like this, beware, because they have a common goal, they have a mission they want to accomplish in that particular place they are. There is no place an Igbo person will find himself that is not for his own benefit or selfish interest. And this is not just to the Igbos, majority of Nigerians. And this is an eye-opener and a wake-up call. Wake up, you people of the countries that have these people as residents. Wake up before it is too late. I am a Nigerian, and I'm not in support of whatever a Nigerian does wrong, as long as it is against the law and the principle binding on that particular country. I will never be in support of it. This is my own candid opinion. I don't know about you, and please, like I said, it's not being personal here, it's just saying that it is. Exactly. Let's talk in the comment section, and please do not forget to like this video. It is coming from me, your girl, your one and only Tando, aka Victoria Chinyere. Guys, I need your contributions, your opinion down in this comment section. As a South African, as a Ghanaian, as a citizen of any country, what do you think about these things? Can you do this in Nigeria? Can this happen in Nigeria? Let's talk in the comment section, and keeping it real, happy, safe, and blessed. And I will see you in my next one. Ciao, ciao.